Friends, this is lecture of power plant engineering, in which we have completed our 2 units. Now I'm starting third unit of this power plant engineering, that is steam and gas power plants. Okay, before that, what we have studied in last lecture, once recall it all in your mind. Okay, let me recall you that we have seen about 5 to 6 type of boilers. Okay, actually what is the use of boiler? It convert the liquid water into steam. Okay, this is the main purpose of boiler, to convert the phase of water from liquid to steam. Okay, which is at very high temperature. Okay, high temperature up to 500 to 600, even more, up to that much degrees Celsius temperature boiler takes to the water. Okay, then what is to be done with this steam generator, that we are going to study in this unit, that is steam and gas power plant. Okay, by the way, this steam generator which has absorbed, okay, let me tell you one thing, that we cannot use coal or coal energy emerging from the coal to run the turbine. Okay, that's why we are using another medium to give that energy to turbine. Okay, that is water. Okay, we are giving that heat energy released by coal to the water, and then that water absorb the energy, it raise its temperature, convert its form into steam, and then again it expanded on the turbine, which rotate the generator and gives us another form of energy, that is electricity. Okay, that means chemical energy has converted into some heat energy which is stored in the steam. Okay, then that heat energy is again transferred or converted into the electricity with the help of suitable machinery. Okay, now let's see this steam power plant, how actually this steam is utilized for producing power. We have to see that. Another part of this unit is gas power plant, we will see further. Okay, let's first see the steam power plants. Let's say some introduction to it. Steam power plant are producing about half of the total power requirement in India. Got this thing? About half of the total power which is generated by different means is half produced by this coal or this. Okay, in steam power plant, water is heated using thermal energy, turn into steam and spin a steam turbine to produce mechanical energy converted into electrical energy in a generator. Okay, now what is the working principle? Okay, on which principle does this work? Let's see. Energy and the steam, Rankine cycle. Okay, the steam turbine work on Rankine cycle. Energy and the steam is condensed in a condenser and recycled to where it was heated. This is known as a Rankine cycle. Okay, read it again. Energy and the steam is condensed in a condenser and recycled to where it was heated. This is known as the Rankine cycle. Means what? The water isn't at atmospheric temperature, then you have to raise its temperature to make it steam. You again have to expand it. Okay, raise the temperature, that means heat addition. Then its expansion, it is expanded on the nozzle. That's why it is a high pressure, high temperature steam takes place, or high pressure steam, and high pressure steam and high temperature steam is expanded on that turbine blade, so expansion takes place over here. Then the heat from that exhausted steam is again absorbed, so that its steam form get converted into liquid. Okay, then again this low temperature steam or liquid steam, or the steam which is converted into liquid, again fed to the boiler for the conversion into the steam. Okay, in this way this Rankine cycle goes on. Steam power plants are suitable for large scale production of electrical power. Certain thermal power plants also are designed to produce heat energy for industrial purpose of district heating or desalination of water, in addition to generating electrical power. Commercial electric unit utility power stations are usually constructed on a large scale and designed for continuous operation. Steam power plant uses fossil fuel to generate steam. Okay, this steam power plant uses what? Fossil fuel, which is what? Coal, or it may be oil, any type of oil. Okay, combustion oil. Generate steam. The fuel may be in different forms such as solid, liquid, or pulverized or gaseous form. The selection of the type of fuel depend on the availability of fuel and economical conditions. Solid fuels, coal is the major fuel used for thermal power plant to generate steam. Now, what are the advantages of steam turbine? Steam can be raised quickly from water, which is available in plenty. It does not react much with material of the equipment used in power plant. It is stable at a temperature required in the plant. Then, okay, got this thing from this, because we have water in abundance amount. Okay, then water does not, except corrosion water, do not harm anything. Okay, it will not harm to the environment also, as compared to like nuclear or gases, this gas power plant. This steam power plant uses water which is not harmful to the environment, though the coal which we are burning makes much more pollution than the other. It is stable at a temperature required in the plant. Okay, then component and system of thermal power plant. Component and system of thermal power plant. Okay, let's see which component are actually used in this power plant, thermal power plant. First one is boiler and furnace, coal or fuel handling system, ash and dust handling system, draught system, high pressure boiler, steam turbine and generator, condenser and cooling towers, feed water purification plant, and different accessories like economizer, preheater, air heater to increase the thermal efficiency of the plant. General layout of the thermal power plant. The general layout of the thermal power plant consists of mainly 4 circuits, that is coal and ash circuit, air and gas circuit, feed water and steam flow circuit, and cooling water circuit. Then a thermal power plant station uses steam as a working flow. Work basically on the Rankine cycle. Steam is generated in the boiler, expanded in the prime mover, and condensed in the condenser, and again fed into the boiler. Now let's discuss about first circuit, that is coal and fuel circuit. Okay, in this circuit the coal from the storage is fed to the boiler. Okay, then through the coal handling equipment for the generation of steam, or pulverized coal as the fuel. The fuel is required in large quantities, which necessitates a fuel handling system. Usually bed conveyor or bucket elevator are used for handling the fuel. Okay, in this steam power plant, the fuel is what? Coal. Okay, which is too much heavy, which cannot be conducted by the pipes. That's why the coal is transported to the power plant with the help of railway tracks. Okay, through the railways the coal is bring to the coal handling station, from where it is pulverized or whatever. Then it is fed to the pulverizer by the conveyor belt or bucket or elevator, etc. Okay, then ash handling system. Okay, after the burning of coal and removing the heat from it, the residue is what? The ash. The ash produced by the combustion of coal in a steam power plant amounts up to 10 to 12%, 20% of the fuel burn. Okay, that means if you burn 100 kilo of coal, the residue or the waste ash will be of 10 to 20%. That means up to 80 to 90% get combust, which is the fuel. Okay, this would be removed from the furnace and disposed. Because of what? It may reduce the conductivity, or it may result in lesser efficiency of the combustion. Okay, this is done by proper ash handling system. Therefore the proper ash handling system must be there. Depending upon the capacity, the system used by may be mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic or steam jet type. This selection is based on the quantity of ash to be handled and the type of boiler used. Air and flue gases circuit. Atmospheric air is supplied for the combustion of the fuel in combustion chamber called furnace of the boiler, either by the forced draught or in induced draft, which force the flue gases from the furnace pass over boiler tubes and superheater tubes, and then the flue gases passes through economizer to heat the feed water through the furnace boiler system. The dust from the air is removed before supplying to the combustion chamber. The exhaust gases carrying sufficient quantity of heat and are passed through the air preheater, where the exhaust gases reject heat to air. This preheated air is supplied to the furnace to aid the combustion of fuel. Then the exhaust gases passes through dust collector, where most of the dust is removed and then exhausted to the atmosphere through a chimney. It increases the rate of combustion, so efficiency of plant increases. Okay, got this? Let me explain in short. Air and flue gas circuit. Okay, what are the flue gas? It is what? After combustion of this coal, we have taken some amount of air from the atmosphere for combustion, because we know that without air or oxygen we cannot combust, or we cannot take place any combustion of fuel. So that air we must suck into that furnace. So that air supplied to the furnace helps to combustion, helps to take out the combustion of that fuels. Then this air also get heated, and which supply this heat to the water. Then this heated air with some other gases which are not combusted in that furnace exhausted to the atmosphere. But before that, the heat carried by the flue gases is recovered as much as possible. It is used to superheat the steam. It may be used to water preheater or air preheater. Okay, that means the air carrying tubes are passed through this flue gases, which absorb somewhat heat. Okay, which gives the heat to the air. Okay, and then again it may be naturally or forcefully exhausted through the chimney. Now air cycle. Now air preheated at this air preheater is supplied to the furnace. Okay, why the air is preheated? Because it is at atmospheric temperature, and if we directly supply it to the furnace, then it will absorb some amount of heat for self heating purpose. Okay, therefore what we have to do, we have to heat that air before taking it to the furnace, but not with the fuel. With help of what? It is done with the help of that flue gases. Okay, this is the air cycle. Okay, next, feed water and steam circuit. Okay, there is also one circuit, feed water and circuit. Feed water, it consists of feed pump, economizer, boiler drum, superheater, turbine condenser, etc. Feed water is pumped to the economizer from the hot well. This water is preheated by the flue gases. Okay, again flue gases is heating that water to increase the efficiency, overall efficiency of boiler. That's why it is called as economizer. The steam generated in the boiler is passed through a superheater. It is superheated by the flue gases. The superheated steam is then expanded in to develop electrical power. The steam coming out of prime mover is condensed in the condenser and then recirculated in the circuit. Some of the steam and water is lost while passing through different components. So feed water is supplied from the external source, and this feed water pass through purifying tank to reduce the dissolved salt and avoid the scaling of the boiler tubes or boiler. Okay, in this feed water and steam circuit, you have saw this different component, that is economizer, boiler drum, superheater, turbine condenser. Okay, now feed water is actually pumped from the hot well. What is hot well? Where as we have fed preheated air to the furnace, in the same way we have to feed the heated water, not which is not at very high temperature, is it? We have to raise the temperature about, if the water is at 30 degree, then we have to supply the water at up to 70 or 80 degree, but we cannot supply, or feed pump cannot supply the water above 100 degrees Celsius, because water get converted into steam. Therefore we must have to maintain the temperature at feed pump which must be less than 70 or whatever. We have to place such temperature so that the water will not get converted into steam immediately. Okay, when it passes to the when it is supplied to the furnace, then it can we can say it is desired to convert the form of water, that is it must be converted into steam. Okay, in this way this water circuit get completed. But this, by the way, here it not ends, but after formation of steam, it is expanded on the, like flue gases, it is expanded, flue gases are exhausted by the chimney, but this exhausted steam on the turbine, after exhausting on the turbine, then again it is used to heat the feed water to that circuit is called, that is called as economizer, in which with the help of that exhausted steam, water is raised with some temperature. Okay, by some temperature. Next one is cooling water or cooling circuit. Cooling water circuit. The circuit include a pump, condenser, cooling tower, etc. The exhausted steam from the turbine is condensed in condenser. The quantity of cooling water required to condense the steam is large and it taken from the river. Okay, got this thing? Cooling water. Why we need cooling water? Because the steam, we cannot lose that steam to the atmosphere. Okay, that means why we are not losing this? Because with that steam, if we exhausted it to the atmosphere, with that steam we are losing the heat also, and which we have to recover. Therefore by this cooling water circuit, we can condense that steam to feed that water again to the boiler. Okay, into the water circuit, or in the feed water. Okay, we have to condense that steam with the help of this cooling tower or cooling water circuit, and that condensed steam again fed to the boiler, so that our water requirement in that particular cycle will be very less. But and one more thing is there, if we are reutilizing the that steam, that means it will form less scale on that uh, whatever that piping. Okay, if we use every time new water, there will be two losses. That means we are losing our steam or heat with the steam, and another one is the losses or the expenditure on cleaning of the water. Okay, but we have seen that one boiler uh, in which there were two circuit where distilled water was used. Okay, I think it was a Hartmann boiler in which there were two circuit. In one circuit there was a distilled water, and in another circuit there was a regular water. Okay, that means regular means I would like to say uh, that water is what, the common water that we can get directly from the river. Okay, because there was no need to clean that. Wait a second, let me see that. Okay, that's same. Okay, Hartmann boiler. In the Hartmann boiler there were two circuit. One was distilled water circuit, another was just to carry the heat or to supply it to the that distilled water. What is the advantage of this two circuit? Because we are expanding the steam on the turbine. Okay, and again we are cooling it with the help of cooling tower or cooling water circuit, and again reutilizing it. It is closed system. Okay, there is no chance of contamination of that water. That's why the problem of maintaining time to time of that tubings is not necessary. Okay, therefore these two circuits are used. Okay, and that's why this cooling water is used. Why? Because we have to again convert that steam into water to feed that water to the again boiler and to the steam turbine, so that we will have less losses, high efficiency. Okay, now next one is that is whatever water we are taking for cooling purpose, we can take it directly from the pond or lake or river, no problem, because we are just putting that water on that steam containing pipes, so that the steam will get converted into again water. Okay, and we need abundant amount or too much water for this purpose. That's why we need very much big reservoir. Okay, in the condenser, cold water is circulated to condense the steam into water. The steam is condensed by losing its latent heat to the circulating cold water. Thus, the circulating water is heated. This hot water is taken to the cooling tower. In cooling tower, the water is spread in the form of droplet through nozzle. The atmospheric air enters the cooling tower from the openings provided at the bottom of the tower. This air removes heat from water. Cold water is collected in the pond known as cooling pond. This cold water is recirculated through the pump, condenser and cooling tower. Thus the cycle is repeated again and again. During the circulating, some water may be lost. Okay, while circulating water due to vaporization. Hence, makeup water is added to the pond by means of pump. This water is obtained from river or lake. Such system is used when adequate supply of water is available. This is known as open system. There one more system is there, lubrication system, it is very necessary because there are too many moving parts, okay, in the feed pump, in the generator, in the turbine. So all these part require the lubricating system, okay, because uh, as there are so moving part, lubrication is there for longer life of this components. We need to have a sustainable lubrication system, okay. Now here you can see the layout of steam power plant, okay. Observe carefully. Boiler shown over here, boiler house, which is very small, but actually in second lecture we have seen how complicated they are, is it? Here you can see also air heater, air preheater, water supply, pumps, that ponds, whatever, generator set, that chimney for exhausting the flue gases to the atmosphere, ash handling system, cooling system, cooling tower you can see here, condenser is there, pump, water reservoir, okay. See carefully all these components which are very necessary. Here you can see coal storage yard, from which coal is supplied to the boiler, okay. Air is also added to it by pulverizing or whatever, too many things we have seen. So this means this forms the coal handling system, which contains the bed, conveyor or extra. Then boiler house, flue gases and exhaust, flue gases handling system, okay. Now here is generator, cooling tower, condenser, these are pump. See figure carefully and study it, okay. Let's stop here today. We'll proceed further in next lecture. Thank you.